It was a crisp autumn morning in Willow Creek, Montana, when the tranquility of my ranch was shattered by a scream that could have woken a hibernating bear. I nearly dropped my mug of black coffee as I saw my guard llama, Thunder, prancing back to the barn with a glittery purse dangling from his mouth like a hard-won prize. Hot on his heels was Blaze, my other llama, his creamy wool streaked with what looked like bronzer and desperation. Then came the voice, shrill, unmistakable, and dripping with outrage. "You'll hear from my lawyer," bellowed my neighbor, Linda, as she limped across the field, clutching her yipping chihuahua, Tinkerbell. I knew right then that something wild had gone down, and my llamas were at the heart of it. My name's Tom Harlan, and I've been running my 40-acre ranch for 5 years, a haven of rolling hills and open skies where I raise livestock and savor the quiet life. That peace was tested when Linda and her husband, Greg, moved into the McMansion on the ridge above my back pasture 3 months ago. Their house, with its manicured lawn and a flagpole that could double as a radio tower, screamed city money trying to play country. Linda didn't ease into rural life. She stormed in, complaining about my hay bales, odor, and my rooster's 5 a.m. wake-up calls. She even griped about my windmill creaking, as if I could oil the wind itself. But the real trouble started with a pair of wire cutters and a fence. I'd built that fence myself, post by post, to keep my animals safe and my property private. So when I found a neat, rectangular hole sliced into it one October morning, I was livid. My barn camera footage revealed the culprit, Linda, in designer jeans and a straw hat, snipping away like she was trimming her hedges. She stepped through with Tinkerbell trailing behind, using my land as a shortcut to the county trailhead. She even smirked at the camera, as if daring me to care. I patched the gap with plywood, hoping she'd take the hint, but I knew better. Linda wasn't the hint-taking type. What she didn't know was that Thunder and Blaze weren't your average llamas. I'd trained them to guard my sheep, using whistles and scent cues to spot intruders. They were gentle with folks they knew but had zero patience for strangers, especially ones cutting fences. The next day, Linda returned, decked out in a white tracksuit and bedazzled sneakers, kicking my plywood aside like it was trash. Thunder spotted her first, his ears twitching as he let out a low hum. Blaze joined in, and I leaned against the barn, coffee in hand, ready for the show. Linda didn't see them until they were 15 feet away. Tinkerbell yapped, and instead of backing off, Linda yelled, "Shoo, you mangy mule." Big mistake. Thunder charged not a sprint, but a purposeful jog that screamed authority. Linda shrieked, tripped over a sagebrush, and face-planted in the dirt. Blaze snatched her purse, swinging it like a piñata, while Tinkerbell spun in circles. Linda scrambled back through the fence, mud on her tracksuit, screaming about lawsuits. Thunder dropped the purse in a pile of llama dung, and Blaze strutted back to the barn like a cowboy after a bar fight. I raised my mug in a silent toast as Linda glared from her side of the fence. That evening, she posted a rant on the Willow Creek community app, claiming she'd been mauled by feral camels while walking her therapy dog. The comments tore her apart. "Camels? Those are llamas, Linda," one neighbor wrote. Another posted a gif of a spitting llama with karma's a spit. I chuckled, but I knew this was just the opening act. The next morning, a county truck rolled up, and out stepped an animal control officer, asking about dangerous rogue llamas. I showed him the footage of Linda's fence cutting and trespassing. His eyebrows shot up as Thunder chased her, and Blaze nabbed the purse. "This isn't my first rodeo with her type," he muttered, noting Linda's history of nuisance complaints in her old suburb. He checked Thunder and Blaze's records, vaccinated, registered, and microchipped, and left with a smirk, promising to file a counter-report for her false claims. Then he noticed Tinkerbell's leashless antics in the video. Turns out, the dog had no county license or rabies shots, earning Linda a fine and a mandatory vet visit. The irony was sweeter than my coffee. Linda didn't stop. She filed a community pathway request with the county, claiming my land had a 1950s easement for public access. She called it the Willow Wellness Trail, as if yoga mats justified her trespassing. The county laughed it off after I sent my property deed and fence permits. Undeterred, she hired contractors to lay a gravel path through my field. They showed up with a wheelbarrow and stakes, but Thunder and Blaze appeared, snorting and stomping. The crew gagged when their boots hit a fresh llama pile, and they fled after I warned them about private property. Linda stormed over, accusing me of sabotage, but I just pointed to my no trespassing sign and the blinking barn camera. Then things got creepy. I found a cheap spy camera duct taped to my irrigation pipe, aimed at my pasture. Linda had buried its cable in a ditch, trying to catch my llamas acting aggressive. I flipped the script, rigging a projector on my barn to play a nightly loop of her trespassing and getting spit on by thunder. Neighbors brought lawn chairs and popcorn, turning it into a local event. Linda yanked her camera out in a huff, but the damage was done. Her antics were now Willow Creek's favorite soap opera. Her next move was low. She showed up at my gate with a tray of cookies, claiming a neighborly truce. The cookies smelled off, and my neighbor's dog wouldn't touch them. A screenshot from a private chat revealed her plan. Lace them with a sedative to calm my llamas. I bagged the evidence and updated my projector with captions like, Day 3, the cookie conspiracy. The crowd loved it, and even the sheriff, munching popcorn on my porch, called her out for harassing herself with her own trespassing. Linda's final gambit was pure desperation. Late one night, she tried to weld my llama gate shut with a portable welder, muttering curses as sparks flew. The weld was so weak, thunder nudged the gate open the next morning. I handed the footage to the sheriff, along with the cookies, screenshots, and every clip of her stunts. Linda was hit with citations for vandalism, trespassing, false reports, and animal tampering. The HOA, fed up with her mailbox color demands and trail lies, voted her off their board. Her reign was over. The story went viral after I posted it online, titled Linda versus the Llamas, a tale of spit and stupidity. Thunder and Blaze became legends, with their faces on mugs and t-shirts, proceeds going to the local animal shelter. A news crew interviewed me, showcasing the ranch and the llama's heroics. Linda cracked under the spotlight, screaming that I'd ruined her life, as Thunder and Blaze watched calmly. She froze, then fled, tripping over her own hose. Days later, a moving truck arrived. Linda's house was listed for sale, and she left without a word, Greg looking exhausted as he loaded their SUV. As their truck pulled out, it clipped the fence she'd once cut, and Thunder marked the moment with a fresh pile. Blaze stared her down, and I leaned on the fence, smiling. The ranch was mine again. Peace returned to Willow Creek. Neighbors visited more, sharing Linda's stories over lemonade. Thunder and Blaze got barn plaques for gallantry in wool. Kids from the local 4-H club came to learn about llamas and respect for boundaries. I didn't win by shouting or suing, I won by standing firm, recording everything, and letting two fluffy guardians do the talking. Linda thought she could bulldoze rural life with city entitlement. She cut a fence for a shortcut, but all she got was a lesson in llama justice. Now, when I sip my coffee and look out at the hills, I know that behind every quiet pasture lies a story of patience, community, and spit. What do you think? Was Linda's downfall pure karma, or did the llamas go too far? Share your thoughts in the comments, especially on dealing with injustice and confrontation in your own life. Let's hear your stance.